So a little while ago, I cracked 7 vintage Pokemon cards from Beckett, and I sent them to PSA and CGC. I got some really interesting results, but I want more. I need to go deeper. So I spent $3,500 buying and cracking 20 vintage Pokemon cards from PSA and sending to CGC. Wild and insane results here, okay? I will be doing this again because this is crazy. And we also have some really big cards in this submission, including a base set Blastoise, a base set Charizard, and a first edition Lugia Neogenesis. The results for these are ridiculous, so you definitely going to want to stay tuned for those. All right, let's get started. First up here is Feraligatr Expedition Holo card, a PSA 8. I really like Feraligatr as well. I don't necessarily like how it's spelled, but I can't do much about that. And in CGC, it got a 9. A little bit of profit there, which is cool. Usually PSA 8 to CGC 9 doesn't really yield too much profit, but for this card, that's fine. And it's a really nice card. I love how he's swimming in the little swamp or whatever he's in there. Really cool card. The next card is Nidoking Base Set 2 Holo card. I got this one in a PSA 6. I got it for pretty cheap. It only cost me $20, which is nice. This card was not really deserving of a 6, honestly. It looked pretty decently clean, and CGC gave it an 8.5, which is pretty good. That's 2.5 grades higher. And I think that's actually pretty fair just from looking at the card. So I'm pretty happy with that. Not too much of a profit there, but I'm still happy with the results. Next up is my little Squirtle boy. Look at him. He's so cute. He's just dangling his feet in the water, just enjoying his life. This Squirtle is from EX Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's a reverse holo, and I got it in a PSA 9. CGC gave it a 10, which is incredible. This is a beautiful card. As much as I like Squirtle, I am going to sell this one, though. I'm only actually keeping 2 cards in this submission. I'll let you guys know. Value's about $200. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that result. Next up, Sabrina's Gengar, first edition. I love the look Gengar's given there with his little side eye going on there. I got it in a PSA 7, and CGC gave it a 9.5, which is incredible. Yeah, I thought it was pretty clean for a 7, so 9.5 wasn't too surprising, but I mean, that's great. I got a nice little value bump there as well. Okay, next on the list is Dark Alakazam, a Team Rocket first edition. This one I also got in a PSA 7. Got it for around $100. CGC gave it a 9.5. Again, a 7 to 9.5. That's 2.5 grades higher. I think that's incredible. I can't believe it. It's a gorgeous card. I love it. I'm really starting to fall in love with all these vintage cards. They're beautiful. Alakazam is really cool. One of my favorites from Gen 1, holding his little spoons there. Maybe he's gonna make like a nice soup. No, I think he does some telekinesis with them. I don't know. I don't know the lore, okay? I'm not up to date on it, but that's okay. Okay, next up is Dark Arbok. I got it in a PSA 8. Like all these cards, I thought it was clean. It was a very nice card. CGC gave it a 10, which is incredible. Again, 8 to 10. So most of these jumps have been 2 whole grades or more so far. This is ridiculous. This is insane. So great value gain there as well. I like how he's screaming at the top of his lungs for some reason. My guy, Mr. Mime, Jungle Holo. This one I got in a PSA 7. This one I wasn't expecting too much of a high grade. There's some whitening on the back and some hollow scratches. CGC gave it a 8. Again, one more higher grade. So every single card so far, we've gotten higher from CGC. Can we keep this up? Well, I guess we'll see, right? We'll keep going. This one actually kind of lost value a little bit on it, but I'm not too concerned. I hope to just break even on it. Here we have Lapras Holo first edition fossil. He's trapped in some kind of purple void. So yeah, I got this in a PSA 8 and CGC gave it a 9, which is fantastic. Sure, I'll take it. A nice little bump in value. It's a great card. I'm happy about that. Mr. Bearman, Mr. Ursaring, first edition Neo Discovery Holo. Got this one in a PSA 9. I actually noticed there's a little bit of whitening on the back for a 9, but I'm like, okay, we'll still get it. We'll still send it in. And lo and behold, CGC gave it a 10, which is fantastic. Another little nice value bump. It's a beautiful card. Every single card still, CGC is giving it a higher grade. How long can we keep this up? I guess we'll see. Ooh boy, it's Gengar. Gengar Fossil Holo Unlimited. I got this card in a PSA 7. I thought it looked great for a 7. And I was like, you know what, PSA? I'm sick of you grading these vintage cards so low. And it came back from CGC. it came back a 10, which is incredible. It went from a 7 to a 10. That's a 3 grade jump. That's huge. That's insane. Really happy with this one. Gengar is super popular. He's awesome. This is like, I don't know, 1500 in a PSA 10, but only 450 in CGC 10, but that's fine. Still a massive profit here on this card. Next up is Articuno Fossil Hollow. This one I got in a PSA 8. It looked fantastic. I think CTC agreed because it came back a 10, which is incredible. Super happy about that. Now the value is at $300. He is probably my favorite legendary bird from the original Gen 1. I always thought he was really cool. Haha, get it? Cool because he's icy? Haha. Next up is Clefable Jungle. This one I got in a PSA 8. CGC decided to give it a 9.5, which is incredible. And yet again, another card that got at least a grade bump up in CGC. He's like grabbing his ears in extreme agony.
Please stop the ringing in my ears.
I like the colors and the hollow in the background. I mean, not really much of a gain here, but that's okay. I still like to see an 8 to a 9.5. That's fine. This card is incredibly cool. Sabrina's Alakazam from Gym Challenge, first edition hollow. This one I got in a PSA 8, and CGC decided to give it a 10. I was super excited to see that. I absolutely love this card. I love how Alakazam is like conducting electricity like Benjamin Franklin, like his forefathers before him. And it's incredible. I'm actually gonna keep this card. I don't want to sell it. I love it so much. All right, next up is Electrode Legendary Collection Reverse Hollow. I got this one in a PSA 8. Could this be the first one maybe where CGC didn't give it a higher grade? I don't know, we'll see. It got a 10 in CGC, so no, it keeps on just getting better and better. This is insane. I actually really like the design of these cards. A really nice value gain here as well. Again, super happy with that one. All right, another legendary collection card. Up next is Magikarp. Got this one for almost 300. I got in a PSA 8. The worst thing about this one on the back, there was some whitening in like the bottom left corner and the top left corner, but it still looked pretty clean as far as I could tell. And it got a 9.5. So again, it's still 1.5 grades higher. I can't complain about that. It's valued around 450 now. It's actually pretty expensive as far as the legendary collection reverse hollows goes as well. Like, he's kind of popular. Does he turn into some kind of like massive Pokemon or something? I don't really know. Anyway, yeah, happy about that. All right, next we have base set Blastoise. He's arguably my favorite starter. I don't know, I go back and forth between him and Charizard a lot. Anyway, I got this one in a PSA 8 for around $180. CGC gave it a 10, which is incredible. That is the biggest value jump so far. Super happy about that. I am going to keep this card. I never want to get rid of it. It's a 10 in a base set. I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. I love this card too much. But I'm incredibly happy. I'm overjoyed by this whole thing. This is insane. I have another base set card here. It's the Charizard. This one I got in a PSA 7. I thought it was pretty clean for a 7 as far as I could tell. Yeah, it had some whitening, etc., etc. But I'm like, you know what? Let's pull the trigger. Let's see what CGC gives it. And it came back a 9. So from a 7 to a 9, it seems like almost every card is getting almost a 2 grade bump, or at least 1 or 1.5. The value spiked to about $1,000, which is crazy. This card's incredible. This is the classic Charizard design. We're almost at the end. Can we keep up this pace? Can CGC give a higher grade to every single card? Let's keep going. Okay, this is the biggest card in the whole submission. First edition Lugia Neogenesis Hollow. I got this in a PSA 6. This card looks incredibly clean for a 6. I saw this scan, and again, a scan only shows so much, and I was like, there's no way. But I could be wrong. I'm not a professional grader. I'm not a PSA grader, because they're professionals. They never mess up anything ever. CGC decided to give it a 9, which is just incredible. We're going from a 6 to a 9, which I think is well deserved for this card. It's an amazing card. The value jump on this one is insane to about $2,000. Biggest win of the whole submission. Crazy, insane stuff. All right, last two cards here. We have Rocket's Moltres from Gym Heroes, first edition. This one I got in a PSA 8 for around $150, and CGC gave it a 10, which is, again, fantastic. Super excited about that. Oh, man, I love these Gen 1 legendary birds, and as much as I want to keep these cards, I'm probably going to end up getting rid of them. And finally, the last card of the submission is Rocket's Zapdos Gym Challenge first edition holo. I got it for around $150 as well in a PSA 8. And CGC decided to give it a 10. I'm at a loss for words. I it is incredible. This is great. If anything, this experience has been so incredible just to be able to hold all these old vintage cards. So the total cost of all these slabs, including grading at CGC, was $3,500. I spent about an hour cracking them, and the total value of all these cards now in CGC slabs is $8,500. So pretty much a $5,000 gain just by cracking these cards and sending them to CGC. Absolutely ridiculous. I highly doubt I'll get this lucky again. That's all there is for this video. Like I mentioned before, I will be doing this again. It's fun. I think they make really interesting videos. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.